So this may be Trump's best brain fart yet. And actually, you know what? You can't even call this a brain fart. This is like a brain dump. He held a 4th of July event at the Lincoln Memorial, and it was raining a lot of the day, and then I guess they pushed it back quite a bit, but he ended up doing the event. And when he was talking about the Revolutionary War, he said this.
In June of 1775, the Continental Congress created a unified army out of the revolutionary forces encamped around Boston and New York, and named after the great George Washington, Commander-in-Chief. The Continental Army suffered a bitter winter of Valley Forge, found glory across the waters of the Delaware, and seized victory from Cornwallis of Yorktown. Our army manned the airport. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. It did everything it had to do.
How do you respond to that? I have no idea how to respond to that. If you notice, before he even says they took over the airports, they did everything they had to do, it almost seems like he said airports before that as well. He said, man, he kind of like trailed off into nothingness. But if you go back and you listen, right before he says the thing about they took over the airports and did everything they had to do, he says, they manned the hammer. Like he kind of looks like he stumbled across something and then his brain like temporarily shut down and then it flashed back on. But instead of functioning properly, he just filled in the gaps with whatever silliness was floating around his rotting brain. And he was like, they took over the airports. They did everything they had to do. Airports in the 1700s. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Now, the most hilarious part about this is, after the fact, it was brought to his attention. Dude, you just said there were airports in the, Revolutionary War. What? What? Like, what's even your theoretical dodge for bringing that up? Like, what happened? How did you say something so ridiculous? And he says, oh, the teleprompter messed up. Now, I'm not sure he means, like, I think the way everybody's interpreting it and what it might mean is, like, the teleprompter went out or whatever, and then he just, like, filled in the blanks with, the side comments that he does when he gives speeches. That very well could be what he means, but I mean, I guess maybe he could be trying to say that it said that in the teleprompter, but that I find inconceivable because it would have to clear his own people, and there's no way his own people would miss such a giant mistake like that when you write it down on paper. So, I mean, I guess what he means is the teleprompter went out for a second or whatever, or it was lagging behind him as he was giving the speech, and then he just kind of filled in the blanks. Oh, they took over the airports. They did everything they had to do. You know that he was filling in the blanks there, at least I think he is, because he said they did everything they had to do, which is such a Trumpism. That wasn't written down in the speech. Like, they did everything they had to do. It was mighty tremendous. It was unbelievable. I have to tell you, believe me. Like, that wasn't written down. But, yeah, that's embarrassing. And it also, I mean, hilarious because Donald Trump repeatedly went after President Obama for what? Using a teleprompter. Like, the whole thing was like, why is Barack Obama always relying on teleprompters? Huh? And then now Trump's giving a speech and he's president and the teleprompter slows up for like 0.2 seconds and he starts talking about Revolutionary War airports. Oh, what a goofball. And by the way, the serious story that comes out of this event is that Trump used taxpayer funds to shoot scenes that he's going to use in campaign ads. You can't do that. You can't use like taxpayer money for something like that. That has to come out of your actual campaign funds. You can't use tax funds for that. But a lot of this event was set up with tax dollars. And then there were scenes that were shot that Trump's going to use in re-election ads and stuff. And that's ridiculous. That's the kind of stuff that's just fueled completely by his narcissism and his self-aggrandizement, and he doesn't care about, little rules like don't use taxpayer money to blow yourself. He doesn't care about that. He said, fuck it, we'll do it anyway. It doesn't matter. What are they going to do? They're going to make me stop? You want to give me a court injunction? By all means, go right ahead, but that's going to happen after I already shoot the scenes that I want to shoot, so fuck off. Really, tyrannical, authoritarian impulse. Like, I'll just do it. I don't give a fuck. I'll just do it, and then I don't care what you say. And if you try to stop me, too late. I already did it. Oh, boy. But there you go. This reminds me now of all the times that Trump brags about his brain. Have you seen those clips? They're so great. He's said in speeches time and time again, like, they respect Donald Trump's very large brain. We need, folks, we need this. We need brain, okay? We need brain. There are other meanings for that, which I'm pretty sure Trump is unaware of. But nonetheless, usually if you have to brag about something like that, it's because you're massively insecure about it. So that's perhaps unsurprising, but Donald Trump's brain took a dump in front of all of us at his 4th of July event.